is Clara and this is my PSW164 nutrition assignment. Today I'll be making a Nigerian dish called eforivo, which is a rich vegetable soup made with spinach, beef, fish, and a variety of spices and seasoning. I'll be walking you through food safety, how I prepare this meal, its cultural significance to me, and finally reflecting on nutrition and its role in healthcare. Before I start cooking, I want to talk about food safety because it's something I take seriously, especially as a PSW student. The 4 key principles of food safety are clean, separate, cook, and chill, and I'll follow all of this when preparing this meal. For the cleaning part, I start by sanitizing and cleaning the counter surface, and also go ahead to wash my hand for 20 seconds before touching any ingredients. I make sure to separate my ingredients, which is already shown in the video. I keep my raw beef and fish completely separate from vegetables to avoid cross-contamination. I never let raw meat juices come in contact with any other ingredient. These are the ingredients I'll be using for my eforivo. I have here spinach, which has been chopped. This is substitute for Nigerian eforivo leaf, which aren't available here in Canada, so I'll be using spinach. I have beef and it's also cut into medium chunks. Fish, I'll be using mackerel fish, and also I have smoked fish also, which is smoked tilapia fish. I have palm oil, I have crayfish, which has been grounded already. Then I have locust beans, also called iru. I have red bell peppers, I have scotch bonnet peppers, onions, salt, and seasoning. Next, I wash my chopping board and my pots thoroughly before using. Then I go ahead to wash my beef thoroughly under running water. Now I'm going to season my beef with salt and seasoning, and I'll cook it until it is tender. Next, I'll be grilling my fish. I make sure to also clean that under running water and using a paper towel to pat it dry, and then put it in the oven. Next, I'm going to be washing my bell peppers, pepper, and onions. I then wash my already chopped spinach thoroughly under cold running water to remove any dirt or bacteria. I also check on my fish, which I placed in the oven earlier. It is now fully grilled. I carefully take it out and set it aside to be added to the soup later. Next, I wash my smoked fish, which was smoked prior to cooking, and my iru, which is what we call locust beans in Nigeria. As you can see in the video, I made sure to wash them separately as well to prevent cross-contamination. I then go back to check on my meat, which is now fully cooked. I take the meat out of the pot and set it aside. Next, I place a clean pot on the stove and add my palm oil, salt and onion, allowing it to heat up. I then add the washed iru into the hot oil, followed by my blended pepper mixture. I allow that to fry until the raw smell is gone and the oil starts to float on top, as you can see in the video, which is floating on top. This usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes on medium heat. I then add my crayfish, smoked fish, grilled fish and cooked meat, along with a little more salt and seasoning. I stir everything together and let it all simmer so the flavors combine beautifully. After that, I made sure to wash all the utensils I used to maintain a clean workplace. Finally, I add my spinach, stir it in, and let it cook for just 3 to 5 minutes. You don't want to overcook the spinach because it loses its nutrients and color. Now I'm stirring it, and that's it. Our efori roll is ready. After cooking, I made sure to wipe down and clean the counter surface again to maintain hygiene, which you can see. And for chilling, if there are any leftovers after this meal, I will refrigerate them within 2 hours of cooking. And when reheating, I make sure the food reaches a safe internal temperature all the way through before eating. This meal means so much more to me than just food. Efori is a traditional Yoruba dish from Nigeria, and it has been part of my life for as long as I can remember. Growing up, my mom would make this soup for me and my siblings, and I can still picture us sitting together around the table, laughing, talking, and just enjoying each other's company. The smell of the palm oil and peppers cooking was the smell of home. My mom didn't just cook this meal, she put love into it every single time. It was a way of nourishing us, keeping us connected as a family, and passing down something from our culture. And now that I'm in Canada, making this dish is my way of staying connected to where I come from. It reminds me of who I am, my roots, and the people I love. And as a PSW, this has taught me something really important, that food is never just food. For many people, especially older residents in long-term care, a familiar meal can bring comfort and spark a memory and make them feel seen and respected. And now I want to reflect on the importance of nutrition in healthcare and how culture connects to that. As a PSW, nutrition is something I think about every day. What a resident eats affects their energy levels, their immune system, their skin integrity, and their ability to heal. Poor nutrition can lead to weight loss, weakness, pressure injuries, and increased risk of infection. So making sure clients are eating well is a direct part of giving good care. Canada's food guide is a great framework for this. It encourages eating plenty of vegetables and fruits, whole grains and protein foods, and it promotes cooking at home and eating together with others. What I really appreciate about the updated food guide is that it recognizes culture as part of healthy eating. It doesn't tell everyone to eat the same things. It acknowledges that food is personal and cultural. An efforiro is a very nutritious meal when you look at it through that lens. Spinach is high in iron, calcium, and vitamin A and C, and the beef and fish provide protein, which supports muscle strength and wound healing. Palm oil, on the other hand, contains vitamin E and healthy fats. Crayfish adds additional protein and minerals. This is a meal that nourishes the body while also nourishing the soul. And as a PSW, I need to remember that not all residents eat the same way, and that's something to respect, not change. If a resident is from Nigeria, for example, offering them similar food when possibly supports not just their physical health but their emotional well-being and dignity too. And that's person-centered care to me. Food connects us to our identity, our memory, and our community. And when we honor that in our care, we are doing more than just feeding someone. We are also seeing them as a whole person. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video showed not just how to make a efforiro, but why food, culture, and nutrition all go hand in hand, especially in healthcare.